Let's get started with the presentation. So let's talk about what SigNoz is. So SigNoz is an open source, OpenTelemetry native observability platform. We have like 24,000 stars right now and a lot of contributors. So you can contribute, you can, if you want to join, we are going to also give you a QR code at the end, so you can scan that. So what we will discuss right now. So there are a couple of things that I want to discuss in this presentation. So one is what is OpenTelemetry. Second is what are feature flags and the difference between feature flags and OpenFeature. Apart from that, I wanted to discuss what is the, why are open standards like OpenTelemetry and OpenFeature important? And what are the challenges of rolling out new services in production environments? And how observability and feature flags can help to manage those risks. By the end of this presentation, we will also give you a demo and a quick summary of what happened. So let's get started. So what do we hear from the users? So from the users, we hear that OpenTelemetry has been a very big paradigm shift in observability. So what is OpenTelemetry? So OpenTelemetry gives us the protocol to set standards for your melt data, which is metrics, events, logs, and traces. And it gives you a very unified format in how your melt data is going to come to your observability backend. Why is OpenTelemetry important? So OpenTelemetry is currently the second fastest growing project under CNCF, and it is only behind Kubernetes. It gives us no vendor lock-in, so any OpenTelemetry supported backend can just use OpenTelemetry data and they can show the visualizations. It also provides us the instrumentation SDKs for metrics, traces, logs. And currently, this slide was made like 3 days back. So OpenTelemetry was had a release very recently where they introduced profiling SDKs as well. So eBPF profiling is also there. And SigNoz is based OpenTelemetry native for instrumentation. What are feature flags and why feature flags are important? So feature flags in all its essence is just an if-else statement. If the feature flag is on, some action will happen. If the feature flag is off, some other action will happen. So when we are going into an application, we see that we have a bunch of functions, a bunch of methods which are trying to go into a feature flag or talk to a feature flag client to evaluate what is the value of that feature flag. The feature flag client will go to a feature flag service, and then it will probably check if the flag is set to true or false, or there might be n number of other values associated with the feature flag service. So there are a couple of services where we can use feature flags from. So one of them is Launch Darkly, one is FlagD, Flagsmith, so a bunch of other services are there. So basically what we are doing is in our application, we are just writing please evaluate what is the value of this flag. If the value is true, do something. If the value is false, do some other thing. In this scenario, if the value is true, then roll out a new service or a new feature. If the value is false, please do not roll out a new service or feature. So why and when do we use feature flags? So let's just say I want to do some A/B testing. I want to roll out some feature for just my development environment, just for the people who are there for quality assurance and not for the people who are the actual users of that feature or my application. So let's just assume that I have a payment service altogether and I want to roll out a new feature for development for developers and for quality assurance, such as credit card statements and all that stuff. So I'm just going to, based on my user profile, probably username, probably user ID, something like that, I'm just going to turn on the features for that particular profile and turn off the features for the rest of the users in our production environment, right? Coming to why feature flags are important. So very easily we can say that it gives us very flexible, we get a lot of flexibility as to how we want to roll out new services, new features. It gives us less risks, and we can do what I usually do not like to do, but still because I do not have to do a lot of deployments, So we can do testing in production as well. So if I am in a UAT environment or in a production environment, I can just turn the feature flag on for some particular use like people, and they can do testing in production as well, probably on production grade data as well. It can also give us some percentage based rollout. And because we are also giving rollouts, so we can easily get that faster rollbacks as well. As if the flag is turned on, I do the rollout. If the flag is turned off, I can just do the rollbacks. So now we come to OpenFeature. So till now we talked about what are feature flags. Now we come to OpenFeature. And I just want to ask every one of you that can someone just tell me what OpenFeature is and what's the difference? Yeah, please go ahead.
It's like OpenTelemetry with feature flags.
To be very honest, that's a very nice answer. Yeah, you can say that it's OpenTelemetry for feature flags. Yes, why not? So let's talk about what OpenFeature is. So OpenFeature gives us a like standard client or an SDK to talk to various other feature flag services. So let's just say that I want to talk to Launch Darkly in my application. So one of my feature flags is based out of Launch Darkly, and one of my feature flags might be based on flag_d. Flag_d, like if I configure any feature flags on flag_d, I have to build a new JSON file. If I have to configure like feature flags on Launch Darkly, I have to go to their service and then just create a new feature and then talk to it. So I will have to integrate Launch Darkly into my application. I have to integrate flag_d into my application. So just to get rid of that hassle, I just want to talk to one thing, and that is OpenFeature. So OpenFeature, my application will just talk to OpenFeature, and OpenFeature will then start a new provider service and then talk to whatever service or the application where the feature flag is there. So that is what OpenFeature is. And yeah, so it gives us a unified API for developers. As truly said, it is OpenTelemetry for OpenFeature. So how does this look like? So I got this from OpenFeature's website as well. So let's just say I have an application. I have a bunch of flag evaluations. I just talk to my OpenFeature SDK or a feature flagging client, and then that OpenFeature SDK is talking to some feature flag provider, either Flagsmith, flag_d, Launch Darkly, or whatever. Flags are us is some of the, like Flags are us is a service that has been like referenced by OpenFeature on their website. So I'm just going to take that example. Flags are us service gives us the evaluation of the feature flag. It comes back to the OpenFeature provider. It comes back to the OpenFeature SDK, and my application is talking to just the OpenFeature SDK. So let's do a handshake between OpenFeature and OpenTelemetry, and let's see why OpenFeature and how OpenFeature can work very like in a good tandem with OpenTelemetry. So what are OpenTelemetry tracing hooks? So we talked about OpenTelemetry. It gives us a set protocol of how we are going to see what are the traces, what are the metrics of particular things. Like it is going to give us standardized telemetry for all our melt data. But what are tracing hooks? So tracing hooks gives us a spec compliant way where OpenFeature can actually add their feature flag evaluations inside any of the traces and metrics, and these would look like span events of a trace. So if I go to a trace, I have a bunch of trace, and at one point of time in some of the particular like method or function, I am evaluating feature flags. It's just going to put that particular event inside the trace, and we are just going to see what is happening at that point of time. So at this point of time, I would have to check whether the feature flag is turned on or turned off. Now I just have to check the trace. What is the response code of the trace? If the trace is erroring out, if the trace is working fine, if there is a 200 status code on the trace when I have turned on my feature flag, good. If it is a 500 4xx error on my trace when I have turned my feature flag, then I have to just roll back, right? So let's go to the next slide. So this is how a trace is going to look like. So this is a screenshot of SigNoz. So we are we have a waterfall model, and we see in the root span we have done some flag evaluation, and going to the feature flag event, we see that what was the event start time. We can see what was the flag evaluation key. Wait a minute. What is the flag evaluation key? What is the provider name? So here we are going to use launch darkly as a feature flag provider. So we get the feature flag key, the provider name, and the variant and other stuff that we want to. So that is mentioned inside the trace. So how does observability and feature flags can help? So observability validates our code very quickly, and we can just experiment iteratively. If we want to just experiment in a high-level environment, probably I want my users to not see, or probably I want my users to see after a while I have done my testing. I do not have to make a new rollout, and I can do that experiment in a very structured manner without any hassles of deployments, which in turns makes us faster rollouts. So if I have to make a lot of deployments, it's a big hassle for me. But if I have lesser rollouts, lesser deployments, and feature flag, like any feature is behind a feature flag, that's easier for me. Because of observability, if the rollouts are failing, I can just roll back, and it also gives me all the standardized observability features. So if I want to check the metrics of that particular feature, if I want to check the traces of that particular feature, I can do that, and also gives me the A/B testing of that particular feature flag evaluation. So let's just say that the next part is going to be a demo. So we are going to just showcase what is the demo architecture right now. So in the demo architecture right now, I have a service. So service A has a feature A, which would be available to everyone, and a feature B, which will be gradually rolled out on the basis of my observability. So if I see my feature B is dependent on OpenFeature to check if the flag value is true or false. So the flag value goes to flag D, launch darkly, or whatever feature flag service you want. It gets me the value from that provider, does the evaluation, gives the melt data, the observability data to OpenTelemetry collector, and it goes to a backend. Here we are using SigNoz, so I get the traces, logs, and metrics. And based on those traces, I get alerts based on errors and exception. And those alerts can in turn make a new webhook call to that particular feature flag provider to just turn off the feature flag if we are just erroring out on that particular feature flag when that started, right? So let's get started with the demo. Okay. So what are we doing here? So let's just start with this one. So what we are doing here is that I have created a launch darkly flag. If I go to my launch darkly portal, I can see that in the production environment, my flag is turned on right now, and the key is test feature SigNoz. We can put whatever key we want, and we go back to our code, and we see that in my application.js or probably app.js, I am just creating a new provider with new launch darkly provider. I am not talking to launch darkly via an API key or something like that. I am just creating an OpenFeature provider, and it is talking to launch darkly. And if I have to just talk to probably flag D, I will create a new provider which will have a new flag D provider, and it will use that SDK key to figure out what is the value of that particular flag. We have a very basic tracing structure as well. So everything is going to SigNoz Cloud, and we are going to evaluate it on the trace itself. Apart from that, if I check this function, so what is this particular app doing? We have just deployed this app for a webhook call on Vercel, because if I want to directly talk to a webhook on launch darkly, I will have to add my credit card, which I do not want to do right now. So I have made a small app which will in turn call an API to launch darkly, and it will turn off my feature flag if there are some errors. Coming to my load generator service, I have a load generator service. So load generator service will just check my localhost 3000. It is going to give me 1000 requests per minute. And we are just seeing if there are any errors or not, and it will just showcase on my terminal. If I go back to my application.json, like application.js, I see that, yeah, just because of the sake of this demo, I have created a random function where based on my request, 30% of those requests will fail, because I just want to showcase this demo. So I want to create an error scenario as well. So let's just start with this. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to export our hotel service name, if that is visible. Yeah. So hotel service name, just give me a minute, I'll just close this tab, close kill terminal, done. Yeah. I am going to start with telling that we have to export traces, so in OTLP format, and I am going to put in the headers as SigNoz ingestion key. So I have given you the ingestion key right now. It is valid till tomorrow. Okay, you can just go ahead and do whatever you want right now. If you want my SigNoz URL, you can just go ahead and look at traces as well. It's a good way to check SigNoz as well. I don't have a problem. So yeah, that is there. So it will start with the launch darkly stream connection. And we are going to start a new terminal, which is going to start the load generator service. And yeah, what do we see that out of these service, a couple of them are getting 500 from our response. And now I can go to my SigNoz dashboard, and if I see, so if I see, let's just remove this. I just want to see a normal trace. If I see a trace, I can go to my events. So this is how a trace looks like. So in my demo, let's talk about that as well. So in my, yeah. So this is a different UI of SigNoz, and this is a very different UI of SigNoz. So this means that we have made a new release. Please go check it out. Yeah, so now that we are seeing this particular trace, I see that we are doing a get API call on OpenFeature example as the service name. We have a bunch of attributes that are coming in. The HTTP status code is here, and we can see that an event is also here. So as I have mentioned earlier, OpenTelemetry, OpenFeature tracing, OpenFeature provides all its flag evaluation as events. So if I go to events, I see that the feature flag key is here, and the value for that feature flag is here, and what is the provider name? The provider name is launch darkly provider, right? If I go back, I find a trace with 500 error code. So I go to response status code is equals to 500 and see, so I get a response status code of 500. So we are erroring out. I get the latency of this, and I get the HTTP status code of this. I get the event, and I see that the value of the feature flag and the key of the feature flag. Now let's just see if my alert is working, because I am not very sure right now. So I will go to my alert. I'll go see here. Yeah, so my alert is not working. So let's just figure out what is wrong with the alert right now. So we are select count, where this. Let's just remove this part, and let's evaluate. I am getting no data. So select response count. Oh, okay. So something is going on where I am not able to figure out what is the problem. Select response status code, from SigNoz, this, and sometime I'll just give this where, yeah, I am not able to figure out what is going on here. Okay, so there is some problem with my alert. I am not able to make an alert, but let's just go to the dashboard and make a dashboard instead. So I'll just create a new dashboard. Count number. Yeah. So I'll go to traces. I'll go to response status code is equals to 500 and service.name is equals to OpenFeature example. Yeah, so for the past 5 minutes, I am getting like 1066 errors right now, right? So in my perfect demo, the alert should have triggered, given me the number, and then it should have gone to a config, like an alert rule, where this particular like notification channel where we are going to create a webhook call to this thing. But yeah, that is not working right now. So let's try to manually trigger this alert somehow. So yeah, so I am not able to manually trigger this alert. Not a problem. But the main point here was that if I get the number here, I could have just said that in the last 5 minutes, I can just do an alert threshold of 200 count, and it would have just turned off my launch darkly. Let's just see what happens when we just turn off the launch darkly flag. Production. Yeah, when that happens, I can go back to my load generator service and check. Everything is giving me a 200 response. So yeah, the automated rollback did not happen because alerts were not being generated, but most of the other thing is done. So yeah, that's about it. And let's go. Yeah, so coming back to our slides, why, like the last part of it is why open standards are important. So no vendor lock-in, obviously. And if you are getting OpenTelemetry somehow, then you can just plug into any OpenTelemetry vendor, any supported backend, and it will scale automatically, and we do not have to worry about it. So summary, so we have, I personally don't feel that OpenTelemetry has a steep learning curve, but I have heard people who find it difficult. So it does. I have just written it out, and it gives us the most advanced implementation of all the 3 telemetry signals, which is the metrics, logs, and traces. You can get involved with SigNoz. There is a SigNoz repo, github.com/SigNoz, and you can join the Slack community as well. And you can just scan this QR code if you want to get hired. Yeah. And thank you. I don't think this QR code will work. So please don't use that one. Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thanks so much.